I looked at the title of your new CD, A-Lex. How do I pronounce it? A-Lex or?
A-Lex.
A-Lex.
Okay.
It means unlawful or without law. What does maybe law mean for you?
Since we decided to work on this topic, The Clockwork Orange, of course we're very familiar with the movie and everything. I started researching, reading the book and researching Anthony Burgess, biography, and just to understand, where he's coming from, why he wrote it, when, and what circumstances. And researching through his life, I saw some references of why he chosen A-Lex for the main character, as a name. One, because of Alexander the Great, his, arrogance, his leadership, his power, his freedom. And another one was A-Lex, which is the title of the album, which is no law in Russian. And Russian was one of the languages he used alongside the Cockney, which is the British, kind of slang, to create this new language on the book, the Natset. So I thought it was very interesting, his imagination, he's inventing a new language. He lived in many different places, including Russia, so he was well Russianized. Okay, I don't know how to put it, So it was pretty interesting, to see that, and I felt you could represent, the whole environment of where the story takes place. It's a city, it's a big metropolis in an uncertain future, very chaotic, no law, no police, no family values. So, that's where A-Lex lives, So.
And what characteristics or what topics that he has to deal with? Can you find? Yeah, can you relate to? Are there some things that you maybe have been going through in your own life?
Yeah, I think any one of us, can be related to A-Lex, in certain parts of its life and in the book. Especially, I think, on teenager years, when A-Lex was most outlaw and really free, doing whatever he wanted, And it's the same with all of us, when we are teenagers, we think we know everything, we have that arrogant attitude, and we do the most stupid stuff, but it's when you learn, when you do your mistakes, you learn with your mistakes, and we are what we are because we did what we did, so I think the book really touches that kind of relationship, and anyone can be related to that. And also it's a book that talks about politics, religion, family relationship, friendship, gangs, violence, drugs, and so it's crazy. We could talk about our point of view, through the book.
Do you think if he had the chance to play as a teenager in a band like Sepultura, would he do the same things he did? You think?
No, not really. I mean, he lived in a time there's like many gangs. So of course, we can relate to nowadays. I mean, São Paulo, you can find many different places that are the same. Which are places that I don't dare even go because they have different laws. Like traffic and drug, dealing and violence. So I'm not a violent person. I think I put all my aggression on my music, on the music of Sepultura, which is something we can feel, that kind of stuff to our crowd, And every time, a show ends, I feel relieved, because I deal with my demons there, let's say, But although I don't agree with the manners of what A-Lex does, in his teenager years, I have to respect that, I think that's a certain thin line that people really, it's hard to understand, but if you don't have a concept of, we cannot really define good, what can be good for me cannot be good for you or for a horse, it's like very difficult, so society have a very different way of like demanding what is good and what's not for you, and that's not freedom, so A-Lex, in a certain way, he was trying to reach that freedom, but in a more violent way, which, of course I don't agree.